Your Chargers win-loss prediction for the final stretch of the season. Been a rocky road getting this far. How far do we think the Chargers go to end the season, and will they make the postseason? Let's start off here with our Week 13 division matchup versus the Raiders. Any given Sunday, I understand that. We've experienced that a couple of times this season already, but the Raiders look absolutely putrid. Their run game has been non-existent. Geno's already thrown for 13 picks. The Chargers should try and gain some momentum out of their bye in this matchup. Give me the win here. Next, Week 14 versus the Eagles. We got the Super Bowl champs who are still a big threat at 9-3. Yes, they've dropped a few winnable games versus the Broncos, Giants, and Cowboys, but this one would be a tough game to expect a straight-up win. I'm going to have a loss here. Next, at Week 15, at the Chiefs, the Chargers handled business versus Kansas City in their last matchup in Brazil, if you'll recall, but we weren't really the same team that we are right now. Many injuries since then, especially along the offensive line. And the Chiefs are not the same team either. They're starting to gain some momentum. This feels like a must-win for the Chargers, but again, that's a big ask of this team in Arrowhead. Unfortunately, I'm going to predict a loss here. Next, we got Week 16 at the Cowboys. This has been a hard team to read this season. They just took down the Eagles, which is impressive, but they've also logged losses versus teams like the Cardinals, Panthers, and Bears. To me, they look like an offensive juggernaut with a very poor defense. Makes for some fun football, but also leaves them vulnerable. I really think Jesse Minter's defense gives us the edge here versus Dak Prescott. Give me the win. On to Week 17 versus the Texans. You know, this team started off pretty bad this season. I think a lot of us wrote them off. But they've bounced back quite nicely, and I know this is a game that the Chargers want another crack at after an embarrassing playoff loss last year. But their pass rush is very concerning to me. They just took Josh Allen down 8 times last week. If our offensive line woes continue into Week 17, it's hard for me to see us surviving against that unit, so I'm going to predict an L. And finally, to wrap up the season, Week 18 at the Broncos. It's no secret the Broncos have been on fire this season, currently 9-2 on top of the AFC West. And this is one of those games that screams drama. A lot of playoff seeding potential here for both squads. You know, the Chargers are a weird team, losing against easier opponents, but coming up big in games they probably were the underdog in. And the Broncos' pass rush certainly makes us the underdog, in my opinion. But again, just a gut feeling. We may walk away from this thing thinking, I can't believe we pulled that off. I'm going to predict a win here. This puts the Chargers at a final record of 10-7 with a strong chance at securing a wild card spot. I'd be happy with that. What do you guys think?